Morning, everybody. It is March 18th. We're going to be doing some pruning on the Brianna vines today. Some short finish pruning. It's a beautiful day out here. It's about, 35 degrees this morning, about a 10-mile-an-hour wind. Notes to pruning. You can see the wood here. This is older wood. Obviously, it just kind of flakes off. It has a really dark brown color to it. This wood here is much lighter in color. And this is actually our fruiting wood. So these are where the buds we're going to leave on this one, that's where our fruit is actually going to come from. We go through this process every year. So this vine's about 12 years old. As you can see, it's got a nice big healthy trunk. Everything's looking good. So we'll start doing some trimming. So what we're doing here is we try to get the buds that are closest to the cordon. The reason I like to have the fruit that's closer to the cordon, the fruit is in better condition. It has a lot better flavor profile, a lot better color intensity when it comes into the winery this coming fall when we harvest everything. So the closer we can get back to the cordon, the better off we're going to be. But we also need about 35 pounds on this particular plant. It's a very large, healthy, aggressive plant, so it's going to have to take quite a bit of fruit to slow it down. What you see me doing there when I'm looking at the actual buds themselves, we'll make a cut here. If you can see it, I don't know how well it's going to show up, but you can still see that that wood is green. If we slice those buds back, they're nice and green. That's exactly what we want to see. Those buds are alive and well and ready for the spring. Hopefully they don't come out just yet, but it'd be nice if they'd wait for us, but I think we're going to be a little early this year. That's okay. We'll plan for it. The guys out in the field like the warm weather. We don't necessarily want the plants to like the warm weather yet. So as you can see, this process takes a while. Other things we think about when we're pruning is if you take a look at this particular spur right here, obviously it's a little further away from the plant than I would like it, but it's healthy, it's fine, there's nothing wrong with it. But things we consider, as you can see on the back side of this thing, the buds are kind of oriented in a downward position. That's how they're going to grow. That's the angle they'll grow at all summer, whereas this one is clear up over the top of things. If we leave that there, there's nothing wrong with that. The buds are alive and healthy, but it will shade over the top of everything else, and we don't want shading to occur to our fruit. We want to be able to get as much sunlight down into the canopy as we can. More sun equals better fruit. There's a lot of little details that go into pruning.
How old is this vine right here?
This vine's, I think, where are we? This is a 12-year-old. So we've got, this vine would be considered an adult. It takes about 5 to 7 years to get a plant really truly established. At that point, they're basically considered adolescents until they get up into that 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old type range. And then they're adult vines, and they'll be happy for as long as the weather will allow them to be happy. But this plant will live, the root system is nice and strong. These plants will live for anywhere from, probably 50 to 100 years, again, depending on the weather. So I don't think they'll be quite that long out here in central Nebraska, but the weather patterns can be a little rough out here.
And this is one of our Briannas?
Yeah, this is a Brianna vine. It will be, believe it or not, it will be ready to harvest about the first week of August. We'll be in here taking the fruit off of this particular plant. That's about a bottle of wine right there. Won't tell my dad.
And this is used for Irish jig.
Yep, this is the Irish jig grape, the predominant grape in the Irish jig. We do have a little bit else, or we do have a little bit more fruit in that particular wine. Try to get some blending going on with that particular one.
And how long does pruning usually take to do every vine we have?
To do every vine we've got, there's only 3 of us doing it. We will take, it'll take us probably 3 months to get through everything. So it does take a while to get through it, but if you take your pruning seriously and you do a really good job at it, you'll save yourself a lot of work in the summertime. Yeah, we'll finish pruning probably in the next 3 weeks or so. Usually by about the middle of April, we're finishing up pruning, and then which works out well because we got to get on top of the weeds and grass starts growing, and we'll start spraying our ozone and that kind of stuff. And before you know it, it'll be time to pick them. Yay! We'll start harvest. This would be the other thing we gotta look out for. See those holes in there? You see that?
Mm-hmm.
That is caused by a grape cane borer. And anywhere those little boogers are, it will kill the vine. They literally tunnel right through the plant. I don't know if you can see that, but it'll go directly through the vine. Which is why we have to clean the vineyard so well when we're finished pruning. Because those little boogers will be in there. And what we'll end up doing is we'll gather all of our cuttings, we rake everything out of the rows, and we take it over and we burn all of our excess cuttings. That keeps the disease and the insect pressure at a far lower level than if we were to just leave it in the rows. So the cleanup process is not very fun after pruning. There's a lot of trash laying in the field. So we have a little bit of equipment that helps us do that. We also hand rake underneath each vine row across the 35 acres. So if anybody's looking for some raking opportunities, let me know, because we got a lot of raking to do. Usually the football team or the soccer teams help us out with that.
Alright, I'm going to stop if that works.
That's fine.